time, I'm very disappointed that my good friend who's supposed to be sitting on this commission, Mr. Delos, kind is not here. Because he found that.
Mr. Chairman, let me object at this point. This witness needs to be controlled when he makes his inflammatory statements.
I don't make no inflammatory statement. All I come here to do is tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I can't stop the words before they come out.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Mr. Brown?
Yes,
try and
but I need to tell the truth.
Okay.
And I think you need to hear.
Yeah, okay.
Because if I don't talk, nobody ain't coming to talk.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, it's totally inappropriate for this witness to launch an attack on a member of the tribunal without any foundation, especially if it's not in his witness statement.
If you check my Facebook, you can see I've been talking them things now before the story even happened.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown.
Okay.
When I address
you, that is inappropriate.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can you ask Mr. Brown when I'm addressing the panel, he's not to look over here and speak to me? Please, thank you.
You heard that, sir? Try and let's have some peace. We don't want a toxic atmosphere in here.
Okay, may I ask?
We don't want you to feel at home.
May I ask one thing? May I ask, in which direction am I supposed to look?
Mr. Brown, remember when we spoke earlier? I told you that the attorneys will ask you questions.
Yeah.
And then after, I might have some questions for you.
Okay.
And then after that time, you'll have your day when the commission will give you a time to say what you want to see improved and so on. So at this point, remember I told you you're a role model for so many people.
Of course.
Right? So just answer council's questions and let's keep it civil.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
Mr. Brown, the last point that I was making is that you do agree that it was not because of the search and cellular phones and marijuana being taken away from the inmates that they began to rebel.
No.
That you would agree that the sole purpose days before, would you agree that days before the 3rd of March, the concern was raised by the inmates, that being of their trials, long awaiting in prison, not having a speedy trial, and those were the issues that have always been raised.
This is a long outgoing issue that been raising for years and years, and every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, we rebel against it. We talk about it. People need to come out of jail. People need to be with the family. People got responsibilities outside.
Now, on which day did you observe, or let me ask you, did you observe the officers of the prison doing what you call a fire drill, practicing to deal with situation on the 2nd of March?
On the 2nd. Because when they came on that day, I thought it was a search. So I went and I put up my phone. Next thing it was a water trail, but next thing no water.
And on the 2nd of March, when there was a fire in capital A.
The 2nd of March?
Yes. Do you know of a fire on the 2nd of March?
No. I went to sleep. I spoke with my girl and I went to sleep. I had no time with nothing. Let me tell you something. I do a jail, not for the jail for frustrate me, because my situation in prison is bare frustration that the administration ain't looking at. So I try to keep myself away from
Mr. Brown,
and everything.
Has there ever been a time from the times that you have that there were fires in capital A? Has there ever been one time in which you observed that the officers were outing that fire or outed that fire?
Yeah.
And how would they out that fire?
Just ready fireworks. It's not no big fire thing. It's a little fire how much you ask. Then why is one for draw the attention, that's all.
You have 5 more minutes.
Yes, thank you, please. From what you observe on the 3rd of March, Mr. Brown, would you say that the officers on the ground and all other officers, meaning the fire officers, the police, and the prison officers, did not do everything humanly possible to save the lives of the 17 inmates?
As a matter of fact, I would go beyond that. I would say they did nothing. Because when they render assistance, when people done dead already, people done burning. By the time they could open the door, people done dead.
Mr. Brown, my time is running very, very, very fast. But I need to ask you 3 more questions.
Proceed.
You seem to be the person or a person in the prison who has communication with a lot of the inmates. Did you ever hear any of the inmates in capital A, out of the set that died, did you ever hear them having any plot to commit suicide?
No, they started killing people. Them boy want live all the time.
You never heard that?
No.
And you said you're not familiar with the names?
No.
Now, when the officer Samuel, based on your evidence, when Officer Samuel instructed the door to be closed, you were not sure as to who were the persons or the inmates that were confronted immediately at the gate, at the door?
No.
By the officers?
No.
Would you agree that there were persons who were caught in the what I call caught in the middle between the officers
and the
prisoners who were behaving in a riotous manner? They were persons who were caught in the middle of that.
Of course. I had a good Muslim
And
brother.
from what you know of the inmates, do you know the name Delroy Williams?
Delroy.
Who perished in the fire?
The only person name I know by heart. 2 persons. One would be my Muslim brother, Ali, may peace and blessings be upon him, and Otto.
And Otto.
Yeah.
But you would agree that they were prisoners who were just serving their time in terms of they were remanded, they were just awaiting trial, and they were sticking to every possible instruction given by the officers. And they were caught.
You can't answer that.
I couldn't because my Muslim brother, you never hear he cuss yet. He walks in the corner, a short, big belly, Kulima with a quiet.
Mr. Brown,
Get into nothing.
you would know who would be the ringleaders who were the ringleaders in Capital E. You would have known their names.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it is not the name that I called, Delroy Williams. And it's not Sherwin Trotman.
No, I don't think.
And it's not Marcellus Vorbeek.
I don't know who's that, you know.
You don't know Marcellus?
No, I don't know who's that. Who's Marcellus Vorbeek?
He was injured.
Okay, yeah, I do know him. He worked in the kitchen.
He works in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And he has a good relationship with the officers.
He's a coach or?
Now when you say he's a coach, it means he
works with the administration.
He works with the administration. All right, but he was caught in the fire.
Yeah.
And so that if he was behaving in a manner that was confrontatious to or was presenting some form of harm to the officers, it would appear strange to you.
Of course.
Because of all the years that you know Vorbeek, he has always been cooperating with the officers.
With the officers.
And yet still he was caught and injured in the fire. Thank you.
May I
You wish to
proceed?
cross-examine?
May I proceed, Mr. Chairman?
Proceed, yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Good morning.
I'm Selwood Peters. I represent the Guyana Prison Service. I have some questions for you.
I have no problem with that.
Mr. Brown, you mentioned a few minutes ago that you were in prison since you were sentenced in 1997 to 13 years in prison, correct? And yes, please articulate your answers when you're answering.
No, I just following you because we didn't read it complete.
Your sentence in respect to the offense for which you're serving time right now, commenced in 1997?
Yeah.
And prior to that, what's your criminal record like?
Clean.
You had no criminal record prior to 1997, your 1997 conviction?
Never did.
No? And you mentioned that you escaped in 1998,
Yeah, I did.
and that was December
Oh,
1998?
just one correction. In 1997, I was charged. I was sentenced in 1998 in the High Court.
I see. And you escaped in December of 1998?
No.
You escaped in December 1998?
No, I never did it in December.
And you escaped, and you were at large for 25 days?
Never escaped in December.
Well, I'm going to suggest to you that on December 19th of 1998, you escaped prison. And you were captured Sorry, you escaped in November of 1998 and captured on December 15th of 1998,
Quite true.
right?
Quite true.
25 days you were at large?
Yeah.
And how did you escape?
I got to Bart Masuni and I swim over the river and I went to Bartik and that was it.
Right, and then you escaped again in the
But
year
just excuse me.
Excuse me, I ask the questions, you respond to my questions.
Okay.
This is now your soapbox.
All right.
You escaped again in the year 2000?
Could you tell me time?
You escaped on the 18th of July